Hello, guys. Welcome to Dare to Live with Mary Ajagbe. I have an amazing guest. I'm so excited already, so I just had to move into that. I have an amazing guest with me today. Her name is Pamela. You get to meet her shortly. So Dare to Live is all about instructing, teaching, and helping you just take courage into living your best life, really. And with me is Pamela today, and we'll be talking about the other side of fear. So, guys, join me as I welcome Pamela. Pamela, thank you so much for joining.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today. It's my honor.
Thank you so much. It's so great. I'm so stoked to have you on here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so Pamela, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you already, so let my listeners meet you.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, my name is Pamela Topjian, and I am in the United States on the West Coast in California. And I didn't live here all my life, though. I've lived in all around the U.S. But I am a certified hypnotherapist. I changed careers from the medical field, I was a licensed nurse for 14 years. And I am a survivor of childhood trauma and which continued trauma in my adult life. And we can get into some of those details if we'd like, but we don't have to.
Okay.
But I know about fear and I know about the other side of fear.
We'll definitely get into that.
Yeah. So yeah. And then, and I also recently wrote my memoir because I'm in my 50s and I have a story to share.
Wow.
And, hopefully, and I've been told already, that it's inspiring to others. And that was my only hope, to show people to continue through that fear, to continue no matter what they're going through, no matter what they have been through, to know that they can get through it. That there is not only life on the other side of that fear, but you can live your absolute dream life on the other side of all of that.
Wow.
Which has been amazing to me. And so yeah, that's the reason I wrote my book. So just to get that message out there.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pamela, for that. So you mentioned, and I think I'll just phrase it this way, because I think that would love to hear a little bit of your story. But because we're talking about fear, I think that it would be best if you decide, which story would be best that would speak also to the issue of fear which you're dealing with. So if you're comfortable, with sharing that with us, particular scenario in your life where you dealt with fear, a story, about your past, we definitely would love to hear from you.
Well, I'm gonna go right to the first one that my mind goes to, which has been the biggest fear in my life. Was I was in 2 abusive marriages, and after the second one, I had left with police escort to be able to get out of there safely after being after an attack by my ex-husband. And so I left and I never went back. And the following year after that, you would think that you would be, celebrating and everything's great now. You're free from that person and that marriage. But no, I sunk into PTSD. I sunk into debilitating fear and, anxiety, depression. And the biggest fear was never coming out of that. That was my biggest fear, was never being able to live my life again, just having my own mental capacity. That was my biggest fear of my whole life. And so that's the first thing I go to when I'm asked about my biggest fear. That was it. So hanging on is the way. I have a sister. I talked about childhood trauma. One of the things in my childhood that was a big piece of the trauma was my sister was killed in a car accident when she was 18. And it was just before my 14th birthday. So that's one of the things that kept me from being a victim of suicide was I didn't want to put my mother through losing another child, you know. A lot of people say that they don't consider suicide or they don't follow through because of their children. But my children were adults already, and I really felt like they would be better off without me. I felt at that time that being so depressed and so fearful and anxious, just those PTSD symptoms, I felt like, you know, that I was just a burden to everybody, really, that I didn't, you know, I was just holding space, you know, taking up space and air on the world. So that was a very fearful time for me. I was having a lot of nightmares and just fearful of like going to the store, carrying out regular chores and errands, you know. So yeah. So that's the biggest one for me.
Wow, wow. That is, I'm so sorry about your sister. I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you had to go through. But I must commend you for your courage. I must commend you, you know, for sticking through it all and being the amazing woman that you are right now. And also being strong enough to and vulnerable enough to share your story, knowing that so many will find healing through it. And I think that that's the crux, you know, of everything, you know, into one. Wow. So thank you for sharing that. Also, I'd just like to, you know, get in a little bit intense. So dealing with all of those things and feeling all of those fears, how did you deal with it? Where did the process all begin for you?
During that time, while I was in the worst of it, I really just, it was very, I had moved as a last ditch effort. So I made a big move across the country and on a 3-day bus ride with a one-way ticket.
Wow.
And I wasn't able to be doing my regular work as a nurse. So I took jobs as house sitter, pet sitter, caretaker, the kinds of jobs that I could do where I was living in and not having to worry about a paycheck, a bank account, you know, clocking in, and having a place to live at the same time. So I just kind of, you know, I utilized the crisis hotlines. And this is all, you know, before I got therapy. So I did end up, I was about a year into it before I sought therapy. And that, you know, I just really like to, you know, impress on people how important that is. You know, it's not at all a weakness to reach out. It takes incredible strength to reach out for any kind of therapy. And this could be, you know, whether it's counseling, whether it's more traditional therapies, or whether it's even like hypnotherapy, or, you know, the coaching that you do and NLP and that kind of thing, or even Reiki, you know, whatever it is, whatever sits right within your soul for you, you know, take that courage, you know, that step. And, you know, you can't, the fear is, it takes a lot of courage to do it, but the incentive is being able to look what's on the other side of that, being able to have a little bit of hope. And if you're still here, that shows that you have a little bit of hope. So if you're here and you have been, you know, in the throes of debilitating fear, you know, if you're here, you still have some hope, and reach out. It takes incredible courage, and it may take you several times. It takes patience and diligence, but reach out. And that's what saved me. That's what I think saved my life. And like I said, before I was able to start counseling or therapy, then there was the suicide hotlines, the crisis hotlines, and there's even a crisis text line if you can't talk on the phone or whatever, depending on your situation. So definitely use those, you know, utilize those. And they're different in every country. I know, I'm sure that if you just Google, you know, crisis hotline, or you just, you know, put in a search online, you'll find what's in your area. So Yeah, so it was difficult. It was difficult. And I just held on to hope. And
Wow.
then once I was in the therapy office, I can remember the day. I can
Mm,
totally remember the day of a little bit of light shining through and
wow.
feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be okay. Like
Wow.
I knew that there was work to be done. I knew that it wasn't like, this is it. I knew I had crossed the line though. Like I had stepped a little bit further away, metaphorically,
Mm,
from the edge of that cliff.
mm,
Um, just being so excited to know, oh my gosh, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to heal from this.
mm,
And also, another reason to go to therapy is I did not even realize that all of the childhood trauma
mm,
was something that was still inside of me, still in
mm,
my
mm,
subconscious,
mm,
still causing issues that needed to be healed. That inner child needed to be healed. That childhood trauma stuff needed
mm,
to be healed. I had never went
mm,
through any counseling for anything as a kid or even a young adult.
mm.
And so, that's very important, I think.
Wow. Wow. That is so wow. That's kind of like a whole lot to take in right now because I'm just
Yeah,
trying
it
to
is a lot, I
process.
know.
I'm just
I
trying to
know, it's a
process,
lot.
because I know that you just saying that is just a way of shortening all of the process, and making it more, a little bit more refined so that we'll understand that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is awesome. So I just want you to just come in a little bit, deeper. You said you remember the moment when it seemed like
Mm-hmm.
light started to shine through. I want you to share with us that moment.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly like what was said, but
Mm,
it had been probably, I'm going to say 3 to 4 sessions in. And I had worked with this therapist for a year. So it was by no means the end of my therapy,
mm,
but I was just 3 or 4 sessions in, and we were
mm,
doing EMDR therapy.
mm,
And, um, And that was because I was not able to talk about things. I was
mm,
not able to remember a lot of things even.
mm,
And so we did EMDR therapy.
mm,
And I just remember feeling like, because I was in such a space of not even barely being able to take care of myself. I was
mm,
so ridden with fear, so anxiety ridden, so depressed, and barely able to take care of myself.
mm,
And so when I was going to therapy, and then, like I said, about 3 or 4 sessions in, it started clicking for me. I started realizing the childhood stuff, which led up to a lot of the adult decisions that I had made or situations that I've gotten into as an adult, which brought me to the point that I was at that moment. So
mm,
everything in my life had brought me to that moment. And
mm,
that made me realize, because when you feel like you don't know why this is happening to you, and you feel like things are happening to you
mm,
compared to you having some control,
mm,
or and some
mm,
understanding, that's
mm,
what makes those lights come on. When you feel
mm,
like you have a little bit of control, you feel like you have some tools to use, you feel like you have some understanding of how
mm,
you got to where you are,
mm,
that really helps. And to know that you are learning. Like so many
mm,
times I hear people say, I don't want to
mm,
make the same mistakes. They're so afraid of doing things the same way that they did before.
mm,
But as you go through the things that you go through,
mm,
on the other side of that,
mm,
you are empowered. You're
mm,
empowered to do better. Everything that you go through and you
mm,
get past, then
mm,
oh, I've been through worse. I can do this.
mm,
There's something that I saw about children that you can tell your children to help them with their confidence. When they
mm,
say, I can't do this, this is hard, you can
mm,
tell the children, but you can do hard things. And
mm,
so
mm,
that's how I felt even as an adult. That's good
mm,
advice, I think. Like when you're going to start something new and you're thinking, man, this is going to be hard. Like, yeah,
mm.
but I can do hard things.
Wow.
I've been through hard things. Now
Mm,
I know I can do this. Yeah, it might be
mm,
hard, but I can do it. You know, it empowers you to give yourself a little bit of confidence that you have been through something really hard, and you'll be able to get through just about anything else that comes up. If this was really that terrible, you know, then you'll be able to get through other things. It makes you stronger. You know, you've learned from the past mistakes. If you're at that point of healing, and if you're at that point of knowing that you're doing better in your life, then you definitely have learned from the past.
Wow, 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 that is so amazing. That is so amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So moving forward, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll just like to know, so that moment, you know, where you had encountered all of the PTSD symptoms, you know, and dealt with it and made a decision to start going to therapy, you know, and counseling. And I think that, again, that was courage right there. Deciding that, you know what, I know that I've had so many bad things happen to me, but it's time that I stand up and take control, and I'm going to leave, you know. And I think that was like a very pivotal time there, where you just made a decision that, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to allow.
I didn't want to live like I was living. Like, I don't want to live like this.
Exactly.
So if I'm still here, I need to do something about it. Yeah.
About it, exactly. And you took that bold step, you know. So guys, if you're listening in, right, she's mentioned quite a lot of things that you're supposed to do. You know, she made a decision that she wasn't happy with what was happening to her, you know. And I know that if you're listening to me, you know that there's situations in your life that, you know, that you're not happy with the results that you're getting. From what she said that it's okay, you can desire another result and do what? Get up and start making that change now. Right. She did that, and that's why, you know, she's been able to get a totally different result and a positive result, and she's happier for it, and she's satisfied about it, you know. So I'd like to ask you, right, what did you think was waiting for you on the other side of fear, of everything of all of the bad experiences that you had experienced in life? What did you think was waiting for you on the other side?
You know what? I just wanted to be able to live my life and maybe be happy. I had no idea. I would have never thought that I'd be where I am today. Wow. I am in a very loving, respectful, equal marriage. Wow. I am living my dream with my business, doing what I love. It's not work what I do, because I love it so much, and I get as much out of it as I give. So just my life is just a dream come true. It's so amazing to me that I have come as far as I have come. And even my book, I mean, just being able to do that is huge. And so all I wanted was to be able to live happy. I wanted to have some peace within me, and to just live a normal, you know, quote unquote normal life. But I have been able to do so much more than just be satisfied, than just be content, or just be able to take care of myself. Wow. I am, you know, practically living my dream. I mean, it sounds so kind of, you know, cliched, you know, you can break down and break through and live your dream and blah, blah, blah. But it's so true. It is possible. You know, and a lot of what I went through in my whole life, so many other people have similar experiences. So that's part of it too, is, you know, I'm not somebody that has been through some really unimaginable, horrific thing. I'm somebody that's been through a lot of things that a lot of other people have been through, or similar situations. And I'm not, you know, I didn't make it to, you know, I'm not a huge world-renowned hypnotherapist. I'm not on the bestseller list. I'm not rich, you know. So, but I'm so happy and living my dream that, you know, it's very much in the realm of your average person. You know, so I want people to know that it's not like a rags to riches story, or a hugely traumatic event and then hugely successful. It's still within that realm of normalcy, but it's humongous for me. It's a huge life-changing, event, having gotten on the other side of that fear.
Wow.
So much more than I would have ever been able to believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow, amazing.
I know, I am amazed.
So I was thinking, right, that you would have said, oh, at the other side of fear, this is what was waiting. But you made a statement and you said beyond getting satisfied or just being able to live, you're able to live your dreams. And I think that is just amazing. That is just amazing.
That is
amazing. That is just amazing. Wow. So guys, I know that you're listening in. So I'd just like you to share with my listeners what to do, how to get out of fear, and what will happen, right? If they decide to take that decision, when they decide to take that decision. Because it almost seems like they're caged in one aspect of life. Meanwhile, there's so much more beyond where they are right now. And I know that a lot of people are struggling and they want to experience the life of their dreams. They want to have a quality life. I know that I wanted to, beyond all the things that I had gone through. And boom, one day, just like you said, I saw light. And I've had my path, being charted towards living the life of my dream. And I believe that I will get there at some day soon, right? So I know that there are people who are listening and who also want to. I know that people listening are probably on different levels of fear, and different circumstances, really, maybe not even related to what we might have talked about. But so if for fear in general, what can they do? How can they get out of it? And what can they do to cross to the other side and enjoy the life that they envision and they believe that they can have? So please just share with us.
I think that holding on to just a little bit of hope. And like I said, if you're still here, you do have hope. And to know that, have a little bit of faith that everything that you have gone through will eventually be in your favor. And for some people, that's so hard to imagine, because I would have never said that, 5-10 years ago. I would have never said, that this is all for the good someday. But I am so much better person for everything I've been through. I am so much better as a hypnotherapist and just as a person in general for everything I've been through. And I had tried in 2010 to start hypnotherapy, to start a business, and it just didn't work out for life circumstances. But now I realize I am so much better now at what I do because of everything I've been through. So trust that there is a plan. And whether you say it's God's plan, it's your life's plan, your soul plan, there is a plan as far as, there are some things and experiences that build us up, that make us stronger, that empower us. And so one thing I'm going to say is, hold on to hope, have some faith, and reach out. Don't pretend that everything's great. Don't hide what you're going through. There is no shame, because everybody has been through something. And you will help others just by sharing your story, whatever part of it you're in. If you share your story, you empower others to know, first of all, that they're not alone, and to also share their story, and to realize there's no shame in whatever it is I've been through, or there's no shame in how I'm feeling now. So, reach out, tell your story, talk about it. I think that's the first step, is just hope, faith, and sharing your story, reaching out to, I don't suggest so much reaching out to friends and family, although it's good to let them know what's going on, because for me personally, I've had friends and family read my book and they say, oh my gosh, we didn't know this was going on. And well, I didn't talk about anything with anybody. It wasn't until I got into therapy. So it's good to let them know what's going on, but not to rely on your friends and family to be your therapist.
Sure that.
Yeah, seek help. You don't want to overwhelm people. And some people are very uncomfortable with these deep subjects, and that's fine. And therapists are trained to handle these deep subjects and high emotions and others and that. So reach out, let your friends and family know what's going on. You can even just say, I'm going to go for therapy. I've been having a rough time, just so that they know that you're not ignoring them, or, just so people know that you're going through something hard, and you can maybe get that support and encouragement from them as well. But yeah, if you're still here and you're going through something really rough, you already have some hope. There's just know that you have hope because you're here. So that should be a little bit of encouragement right there.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pamela, for sharing that. Guys, I sure hope that you got that, because I definitely did. And I think you just reiterated a point, that I started to hold on to, that I'm alive, after I'd lost a very, a dear friend of mine. And I was thinking about her today, just before, I got on this call with you. And I was just thinking about how the fact that she passed ignited something inside my heart. I was the one who was always desiring to die. I was the one who wanted to kill myself. I was the one who was feeling all of the negative emotions and all of that. And she was the one that was bubbling with so much life, and everything. And she was so given of herself that I envied how she lived. I just wanted to be able to be free, to be able to laugh with people and all of these things. And now she's gone, and it just woke me up to live. So guys,
absolutely,
like Pam said, if you're here, still here, breathing, you can hear us speak right now, then that's hope right there. And please hold on to it. Please hold on to it. Don't let go. Don't let go. And it's just a matter of time. You will get to live your dreams, and even so much more, that you desire. So thank you so much. It is possible. Thank you. It has been inspiring talking to you. Thank you so much for the time. This is real wealth here. Thank you. I am so grateful. I sure hope that we'll have you on another episode, where we'll get to talk more, and also get to empower people, because I believe that, what you've been through, your story, at this point that we've been able to connect is worth sharing, and more people need to know so that healing can come, from it. So before we run off the session, I'd just like to ask, how can my listeners contact you? Where can they find you? And you also mentioned your books. I'd like you to also share, how they can get a copy, of the book.
Yeah. So the book is on Amazon, and it's easier to find by putting my name in the Amazon search bar than because Amazon is so huge. But the name of the book is I Didn't Come This Far to Only Come This Far.
Wow.
And I know.
Wow.
I know.
That's
deep. So great. It's just so true. It's a perfect title. So yeah, my name, Pamela Topjian, and I'm sure I'm sure that Mary will have that in the show notes.
Yes.
But then you can reach me by my email is pamela@hypnobreakthrough.com, and then that website has all my social media. I'm also on Linktree, which has everything that I'm on. It also has a link to the book. So just Pamela Topjian without any spaces in my Linktree. So yeah.
Wow, thank you so much.
I'd love to hear from people. I'd love to hear your story, if you're willing to share, whether you're interested in hypnotherapy or whether you're interested in the book or any of it or not. I still love to hear from people.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Yes, they are. They are. Thank you once again, Pam, for the honor to do this with you. I'm so glad and grateful.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening in. This is Dead to Leave once again with Mary Ajagwe. Till next time. Thank you.